2020-2021 CoronaVac, also known as the Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine, is an inactivated virus COVID-19 vaccine developed by the Chinese company Sinovac Biotech. It has been in phase 3 clinical trials in Brazil, Chile, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Turkey. It relies on traditional technology similar to BBI-BPCoV and BBV-152. Other inactivated virus COVID-19 vaccines in phase 3 trials. CoronaVac does not need to be frozen, and both the vaccine and raw material for formulating the new doses could be transported and refrigerated at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, temperatures at which flu vaccines are kept. Brazil announced results on 13 January 2021 showing 50.4% effective at preventing symptomatic infections, 78% effective in preventing mild cases needing treatment, and 100% effective in preventing severe cases. Final phase 3 results from Turkey announced on 3 March 2021 showed an efficacy of 83.5%. Interim results in Indonesia were announced on the 11th of January 2021 with an efficacy of 65.3%. A detailed report containing confidence intervals, efficacy by age and side effects has not yet been released. CoronaVac is being used in vaccination campaigns by certain countries in Asia, South America, North America, and Europe. In March, a Sinovac spokesman told Reuters production capacity for CoronaVac could reach 2 billion doses a year by June 2021. As of March 21, 70 million doses of CoronaVac had been administered worldwide. CoronaVac is an inactivated vaccine. It uses a similar, more traditional technology as in BBI-BPCoV and BBV-152. Other inactivated virus vaccines for COVID-19 in phase 3 trials. CoronaVac does not need to be frozen, and both the vaccine and raw material for formulating the new doses could be transported and refrigerated at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, temperatures at which flu vaccines are kept. CoronaVac could remain stable for up to 3 years in storage, which might offer some advantage in vaccine distribution to regions where cold chains are not developed. On 7 January 2021, results from phase 3 trials in Brazil among 13,000 volunteers revealed the vaccine was 78% effective in preventing symptomatic cases of COVID-19 requiring medical assistance and 100% effective against moderate and severe infections. After mounting pressure from scientists, Butantan said on 12 January that these rates only included volunteers who had mild to severe cases of COVID-19. The overall efficacy, including asymptomatic cases and symptomatic cases not requiring medical assistance, was 50.38%. Of the 220 participants infected, 160 cases were in the placebo group and 60 cases in the group that received CoronaVac. On 3 March 2021, final phase 3 results from Turkey showed an efficacy of 83.5%. The final efficacy rate was based on 41 infections, 32 of which had received a placebo, said Murat Akova, head of the phase 3 trials in Turkey. He added the vaccine prevented hospitalization and severe illness in 100% of cases, saying 6 people who were hospitalized were all in the placebo group. The final results were based on 10,216 participants, 6,648 of whom received the vaccine as part of the phase 3 study that began mid-September. Turkey had announced an interim result with 29 infections in December, which placed the efficacy at 91.25%. On the 11th of January, Indonesia released phase 3 results from an interim analysis of 25 cases which showed an efficacy rate of 65.3% based on data of 1,600 participants in the trial. The trial was conducted in the city of Bandung, and it was not clear how Indonesian scientists made their calculations. Officials said the lowered figure of 50.4% included very light cases of COVID-19 among participants omitted in the earlier analysis. Ricardo Palacios, medical director of Instituto Butantan, said Sinovac's relatively low efficacy rate of 50% was due to more rigorous standards for what counts as an infection among trial participants. The institute included 6 types of cases in its results: asymptomatic, very mild, mild, 2 levels of moderate, and severe, while Western vaccine makers generally included only mild, moderate, and severe categories. Brazil's trial was also largely made up of frontline healthcare workers. They are more exposed to the virus and may explain the relatively low efficacy rate, said Yan Zhonghu Wang, a senior fellow for global health at the Council on Foreign Relations. The release of more definitive data on CoronaVac's efficacy was delayed because Sinovac needed to reconcile results from different trials using varying protocols. According to Instituto Butantan director Dimas Covas, the Brazilian group was considered more vulnerable to infection and exposure to higher viral loads. In Turkish and Indonesian phase 3 trials, the composition of volunteers was similar to that of the general population. On March 10, Instituto Butantan director Dimas Covas said CoronaVac was efficient against 3 variants of COVID-19 in the country: British B1.1.7, South African 501, V2, and Brazil's P.1, of which are